tonight. From the skies over America to a jungle summit in Brazil, the headlines paint a clear picture. We are a world on the edge. The systems we rely on, our democracy, our safety, our climate, are all under immense pressure. This is the global news update on top Accolade News. The headlines: Mexico's president assaulted in public. Bihar votes in state election. US orders 10% flight reduction at major airports. Global leaders convene in Amazon for COP30. We'll start in Mexico City. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum vowed to press charges against a man who groped her during a public event in Mexico City, saying she must act for all women. The arrest follows viral footage showing the assault. Women groups says the act exposes Mexico's deep-rooted machismo and the danger faced by women, even the president. In a nation where 98% of femicide go unpunished, Sheinbaum's defiance sends a clear message that no woman, no matter her rank, should be touched without consent. From a crisis of culture, we move to a crisis of faith in democracy. Voting is underway in India's Bihar state, where over 74 million people are choosing a new government in a two-phase election seen as a test for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP party ahead of key state polls. The opposition accuses the Election Commission of manipulating voter rolls to favor the ruling party, a charge both deny. With veterans possibly facing the final contest and women voters emerging as decisive players, Bihar once again stands as India's political mirror, reflecting both its fractures and its faith in democracy. From India's polling booths to America's grounded airports, the US government has ordered a 10% reduction in flights at 40 major airports amid a record 36-day shutdown that has left thousands of air traffic controllers and TSA staff unpaid, triggering delays and safety concerns.
Well, we'll be meeting with the airline community this evening to talk about how we'll move to implementation. We want to do this in an organized way. We want to make sure that planes get where they need to go for maintenance and crews get to where they need to be as we start to implement this drawdown in service, but it will be restricted to these 40 high-volume traffic markets. We're going to ask the airlines to work with us collaboratively to reduce their schedules pro rata through the day. So we're going to look for a ratable reduction across these 40 markets.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said the move was necessary to keep the airspace safe while airlines brace for massive schedule disruptions. As political gridlock paralyzes Washington, the crisis is no longer just about policy. It's now grounded in America's skies. Speaking of crisis, world leaders are meeting in Brazil this week to decide what the planet will pay for its survival. Dozens of world leaders are gathering in Belgium, Brazil, for the COP30 climate summit, marking 30 years of global climate talks amid fears of fading multilateral cooperation. While 53 heads of state will attend, the US, China, India, and Russia are notably absent, leaving the EU as the only major emitter present. Brazil's President Lula da Silva is pushing nations to fulfill all climate pledges and back his $1 billion Tropical Forest Forever Fund, joined by Indonesia and China, as billionaire Michael Bloomberg commits $100 million to methane monitoring. The planet can no longer afford promises without proof. You're watching the Global News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. We pivot to the global gridlock on the issue that affects us all. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness said Hurricane Melissa, the strongest storm ever on the island, caused damages worth up to 32% of GDP, devastating homes, farms, and tourism hubs, while killing at least 75 people across the region. He warned that $7 billion toll would push Jamaica's debt higher and force fiscal rule suspensions, calling the storm a warning of worsening climate extremes. As Holness pledges to rebuild stronger and urges global aid, the Caribbean is paying the price for a warming world it did not create. European security is facing a modern threat from above. Belgium's government is holding an emergency National Security Council meeting after a series of drone sightings disrupted Brussels airport's operation and flew over military bases, sparking fears of foreign interference. Security officials reportedly suspect a very probable Russian link, while NATO allies have pledged support. Europe is reminded that modern warfare no longer needs boots on the ground, just drones in the sky. From security scars to cultural shifts, Ed Sheeran has welcomed major reform to England's national curriculum, described the restrictive English baccalaureate, and opened more space for creative subjects, calling it hope for young people to study music. The new curriculum announced by Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson will also teach financial literacy, media awareness, and climate change, while aiming to narrow educational gaps. Prime Minister Keir Starmer thanked Sheeran for his advocacy, pledging to make creativity a right, not a privilege. In a world of misinformation and division, music may just be the lesson that unites. And finally, in sports, FIFA has unveiled the FIFA Peace Prize. Football unites the world, an annual award recognizing individuals who have made exceptional contributions to peace, with the first honoree to be named during the 2026 World Cup Finals in Washington, D.C. next month. President Gianni Infantino said football stands for peace in a divided world, echoing calls for unity as global tensions rise. In a sport often defined by rivalry, FIFA's new prize aimed to prove that the world's game can still build the world's glue. From politics to pop culture, every headline tonight carried one message: resilience. Whether it's a president standing up for women, a small island rebuilding after ruins, or a teacher helping a child find his voice, the world keeps fighting forward. For Top Accolade News, I'm Ojarumi Okocha. Do have a wonderful day and keep watching global news updates on Top Accolade News.